Very
Hello.
good afternoon to everyone present here. I know Health Hub Solutions, association with the East Bengal Club, is delighted to welcome you all to an e-panel discussion on DOPE, diabolical option for performance enhancement. We are immensely grateful to the East Bengal Club for allowing us to be a part of their centenary celebrations. Now I would like to request Sir Dr. Shantiranjan Dasgupta to to say a few words so that we can begin the evening's proceedings.
So I welcome all of you participants and the viewers to for our this webinar session. And you will hear so many things from the so many personalities all over the sports. And I think you can get a knowledge, thorough knowledge about the games and what should be done in this locking period or unlock period, what the sporting activity should be in this scenario, because everybody sporting person are inside the room. They can't get outside because of the emergency, disasters management emergency, which we never seen before. It is about 102 years back it is occurring here. So everything sports related will be spoken by our participant. They will show the views. Now I should hand over this mic to Shambho Sundar Samadar to tell further.
Thank you so much, sir, for your encouraging words.
Okay.
Now, in order to proceed with the panel discussion, I would like to request Dr. Shambho Shamrat Shamazdar to join us. Dr. Shambho, DM, MD, DM Resident Clinical Pharmacology, School of Tropical Medicine, Kolkata. He is also a guide and mentor to us at Innovocare Health Hub Solutions. He would moderate the session and introduce our dignitaries one by one, though most of them hardly need any introduction. Over to you, Dr. Shamazdar.
Thank you, Mr. Rohan, for organizing this, and I am thankful to East Bengal Club to give us this opportunity to promote anti-doping awareness. So before going to the panel discussion, we have a few proceeding slides on doping, and this name, diabolical option for performance enhancement. So DOPE. This name, I am requesting Professor Shantanu Tripathi sir, actually from his mind actually this name came, so make it copywriting so that later we can use this terminology. So this is one type of satanic option for increasing our performance, specifically in the sports field. So with starting, I am giving one examples of recent encounter that Mr. Ramshad Ayer, who had bagged a silver medal at the National Weightlifting Championship 2019. So, dope sample collected by the doping control officer of NADA during the 71st Men's National Weightlifting Championship, and his urine was positive for one prohibited substance, that is the metabolite of tamoxifen. So when the athlete was asked, he denied the intentional use. He told that I am taking this for my treatment for gynecomastia. But actually what happened? The NADA, that is the National Anti-Doping Agency, that reminded the athlete that actually it was his personal duty to ensure no prohibited substance that entered his body. And ultimately, they found him guilty of anti-doping rule violation. There was the anti-doping disciplinary panel, and they make them ineligible, make him ineligible for a period of 2 years from his date of provisional suspension. So actually he should have consumed the medicine only after obtaining therapeutic use exemption. So this is a very important area. We players, we sports persons should know how to apply therapeutic use exemption. So this will we discuss in a nutshell today. So what is doping? it is actually any attempt either by the player or at the instigation of another person, such as manager, coach, trainer, doctor, physiotherapist, or sometimes masseur also, to enhance the mental and physical performance non-physiologically. So against physiological system of our body, to treat ailments or injury when this is actually medically unjustified for the sole purpose of taking part in the competition. And why we need anti-doping policies? Number one, to afford the and also the preserve the ethics of sport, to safeguard physical health and mental integrity of the player, because whatever we using in doping, whatever medicines we are using, whatever methods we are using, they are actually harmful to the player. And after all, it is important to have an equitable distribution of chances. That is to ensure that all competitors have an equal chance. We all know the spirit of sport, that is the celebration of human spirit, body and mind. And a very beautiful quote by Ken Doherty, who is an excellent snooker player, that the 5 S's of sports, what are they? Number 1, stamina. Number 2, speed. Number 3, strength. Number 4, skill. And then spirit. But he also mentioned that the greatest is the spirit. So spirit of sport is reflected in values we find in and through different sport, including ethics, fair play, honesty, health, excellence in performance, character and education, fun and joy, teamwork, dedication, commitment, respect for rules and laws, respect for self and other participants, courage, community, and solidarity. And this is a brief how dope testing actually happened. There is a clear-cut 10 steps. Number 1, the athlete selection. If I am an athlete, I can be selected for doping control at any place, anytime. Then there will be a notification. One doping control officer or some chaperone will notify you that you are selected. And now it is your rights and responsibility to go to report to the doping control station. Then there will be a sample collection. Your sample will be taken. There is the specific amount, that is the minimum 90 ml of urine to be taken. That urine sample will be divided into 2 small bottle. Then there is a sealing process. And this is very important. As an athlete, you have to ensure that the sample sealing happened properly. There is a measurement of specific gravity, because there is one misdeed by some athlete. They make it diluted, because we know if the urine volume become diluted, what happens? There is less chance to catch the doping things or prohibited substances, mixing water and that. So that is very important. If such cases also happen, you will be penalized. So we have to measure the specific gravity that was measured by the dope control officer. Then ultimately you have to complete the doping control form, and that documentation is also very important. You have to check whether your name, that ID number is matching with the form and that sealed bottle. Then ultimately it will be sent to the laboratory. Now I am coming to this important area we often miss, that is the therapeutic use exemptions. Because as an athlete, I may be suffering from some diseases when I have to require some medicine actually which belongs to the prohibited list. So I am suffering, just assumption, I am suffering from a severe allergic disease, some asthma. I need some steroid, systemic steroid. So that not comes under doping, but I have to follow some procedure. So athlete and illness or condition that requires a particular medication that appearing on the prohibited list may be granted a therapeutic use exemption. So we have to take the permission to take it. So therapeutic use exemption process avoids the risk of sanctions due to a positive test. Even I am taking the steroid for treating my asthma, I become positive, my urine become positive with corticosteroids. but I will not be penalized. So any athlete requesting a therapeutic use exemptions before taking a prohibited medicine. So this is very important. As an athlete, I have to request a therapeutic use exemptions. I have to take that copy of permission. Then I can take that medicine, particular medicine. So there is a 30 days period to take that. But in case of emergency, I am giving one example. I am not taking the name. One foreign player is suffering from a severe allergic reactions, urticaria. We know his skin was swollen, and we have to give corticosteroid injection immediately. So that is an emergency cases. So we have to treat the patient first, then I have to actually apply for therapeutic use exemptions, that this is the condition, this is the medical record, this is why we have to give this particular injection, please give us the therapeutic use exemption granted. So they will grant. So next, another area that is very important, many of us actually take supplements. Are supplements safe to take? There should be an extreme caution before taking supplement, because manufacturing and labeling of supplements do not follow strict rules, and supplements containing an undeclared substance many times causes false that is dope test positive. So we have to be very cautious. The risk of taking supplement versus the potential benefit should be weighed properly, and athlete must appreciate the negative consequence. This is one example. We can see this supplement, and that supplement use can bring an end to sporting career, because that supplement actually contain one thing, that is hygenamine, and that is actually comes under the prohibited list, and that particular player unknowingly taken that supplement and become banned. And another important issue is that in many supplement there is many herbal product, but from one herbal product what chemical actually produced we never know. So sometimes that also causes some false positive or positive results. So we have to be very much cautious regarding taking supplements. So these are the 10 rules, and in a nutshell, all these are the anti-doping rule violations. So first one is presence. That means in your blood or urine test is positive. Second is use or attempted use. That is use or attempted use by an athlete of a prohibited substance or any prohibited method. There are some, apart from drugs, there are some prohibited methods also. Just like if I want to be a very good athlete, or I need some good running ability, I can take some blood. So that is a prohibited method. I cannot take blood without any medical need. So evading, refusing, or failure. So that means the hiding from the doping control officer, refusing to be tested, or not going to the doping control station. That is also an anti-doping rule violation. Whereabouts failure. So athletes not submitting information to say when and where they will be available for testing, or not being in that location when a doping control officer turns up to test them. So that is, again, we have to be very much open to the doping agency, anti-doping agency. Tampering is again a very bad thing. That is the interfering with or disrupting the testing process. Possession, that means having banned substance or methods in your possession without an exemption. That means without any therapeutic use exemption. I am an asthmatic patient, I can take steroid medicine, but if we don't have that therapeutic use exemption form, then that is a crime. So trafficking is again another thing, that carrying or transporting banned substance, giving an athlete substance or using a banned method on them, that is also a doping thing. Some doctors also banned by some societies due to doing this type of practices. Complicity, that means helping someone to dope or help. That means working with someone who has been sanctioned for doping. So opportunity list. This is available in net. I think every player should download it and carry it with them. So ultimately, you have to decide whether you will do or you will achieve the medal with your courage, with your dedication, or you have to take some medicine. Because if you take medicine, you can see what is the result. So now we will move to the panel discussion, and it is my honor actually to introduce the galaxy of this panelist. So I am just checking them. So first, I am inviting Professor Shantanu Tripathi, who is a professor and head Department of Clinical Pharmacology, School of Tropical Medicine, Kolkata. Hi, sir, you are there?
Good evening, everybody.
Dr.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Then I am inviting Dr. Shanti Ranjan Dasgupta, who is an orthopedic surgeon, sports medicine specialist, and Honorable Assistant General Secretary, East Bengal Club. So he is also a member of Working Committee of Sports Council, Government of India, Government of West Bengal. So welcome you, sir. So now I am welcoming Mr. Subhash Bhomik, who needs no introduction. He's an ex-Indian international footballer and revered Indian football coach. And we know about his galaxy of achievements. He's a multiple National League and I-League winning coach. And we are proud of him due to that Asian Cup victory. So he's a living legend of Indian football. So good evening,
all.
Mr. Subhash Bhomik.
Good evening all, everyone.
And now I am inviting Mr. Ranodev Bose, who is an ex-India international and Bengal cricketer. He is now Bengal Ranji.
I believe due to our network issue, there has been some problem. Kindly bear with us for a few moments, and Dr. Shamasdar will soon be back with us. Thank you.
I am sorry, my net connection was down actually. So now I am going to introduce Mr. Baichung Bhutia, who actually needs no introduction. So he's an ex-Indian footballer and international player, captain of Indian national team, and we know everyone know him actually. So he needs no introduction. Welcome to you, Mr. Bhutia. Are you there? I think. Yeah. Okay, welcome everyone. So now we are moving. First, I am asking Professor Tripathi that you had made that terminology, that is diabolical option for performance enhancement. Can you a little bit elaborate how this idea came into your mind in the context of dope?
It's nothing really very great, because I was just trying to find an acronym. Okay, the word dope, so that it can impact on our understanding and developing the insight. So I was trying to find a suitable phrase, and so I found that if we the term D for diabolical means actually demon-like, or something very bad, very ugly, or evil, extreme evil. That is what is called diabolical. Okay, so so if I opt for this particular uh, unnatural way of trying to enhance my performance in competitive sport, okay, that is going to prove diabolical or extremely evil, not only to me, to everybody else, all stakeholders around sports, competitive sports. So it is against the very spirit of sport, and so I tried to put it like this in order to send home the message of anti-doping strategies and anti-doping activities. Okay, so you can put it in different way also, different other ways also, and it's not a very kind of recognized kind of phrase, but just for the sake of our convenience, in order to understand the very basis of this dope and anti-doping activity, I thought that let us start having a catchy kind of phrase like this. That's it. We'll discuss further about why it is so evil. What is so evil about it? We'll discuss that.
Okay.
Thank you. Over.
Now I am asking Dr. Shantiranjan Dasgupta. So regarding doping, one thing is very important, that is the doctor-patient relationship. So how should we actually approach to that, and how to deal with the principle of confidentiality? So what is your thought on that? Can you please unmute yourself? I think your microphone is muted, so please unmute yourself.
Hello. Hello. Hello?
Yes, sir. We can hear you now.
Yes. This is the relation doctor and your this players relation. Anyway, with relationship regarding the doctor, either it's the player or it is the patient, is everywhere the same. He must be a very good friend of the player, coaches, and all team, because uh, as a as a team, doctor will have to work on this. In any sports, there are three things is essential. One is players, and his coach, and his manager, and in between there should be a doctor. So his relation with the subjects or the players should always be very smooth, and he should be very fatherly, at the same time very friendly with their player, so that they can understand what is the meaning of competitive sports, not going for any evil thing which is unwanted in the sports. But only problem is that whenever we come as a competition, everywhere in competition there is some unfair means. Not only in the games, everywhere people used to take the some of the unwanted means. So that's why in games also, this is from long Olympic history. If we can see that from the time of socialist dominance in the world, there was much more problem, and the socialistic country used to get the more maximum number of medals. Now after changing scenario, when the Coca-Cola Olympics came in, the corporate sector's money is involved, then there is the change of total scenario, and this unfair means is adopted by the most of the player to be number one in the game, especially in the athleticism. So to check all these things, as a doctor, as a team doctor or sports medicine, doctor should come forward to check all these things, to remove all these evils from the games. Otherwise, the essence of the game or competition will be out from our seen. So we must be very particular about this is the duty of the doctor. He should check it. He should stop it. Now this, I am very thankful for the Shantanu to telling all these things nomenclature of his own explaining. So this is the violation of some rules in the article of dope, that is WADA, that is 2.1 to 2.8. In there was some rules, norms. You will have to attend all this, and what you Shamba has explained all these things very clearly. So this should be our motto for the good, way to perform all the games and all these things.
Okay, thank you, sir. So now I'm moving to Mr. Subhash Bhomik. So my question is you to sir, that one player
No,
suffering
Mr.
from injury.
Dr. Samadar,
Yeah, please.
please, before you ask me a question, I've got one question to Dr. Shantiranjan Dasgupta. He was telling that the team needs a doctor. Here lies my objection. This is my practical experience being handled so many teams as a manager, football coach. Doctors means we need doctors who has got good amount of knowledge of sports medicine, the pharmacology. Because I know, I'm not going to name the team or the club. We were in Bangalore, the boy got cough, and the doctor, the club, to save money, sent a doctor from the Pada, who has got no iota of idea regarding sports medicine. In front of me, he was buying him. He has got headache. He was buying him some tablets in arrest. Both the doctors, you will also understand. And Codex. And this is my practical experience because I do study to safeguard my players. Immediately I protested. I told the doctor, please, for heaven's sake, don't give these two medicines. Both falls under doping. We have got even Decold, a very common medicine. Any doctors who are, they will say, oh, you have got cold. Yeah, have the Decold. Decold is a banned drug. I don't know. I may be wrong, but this is my the knowledge I have gathered with my through such a long coaching career. So I suggest that we need doctors who has got sports medicine background, who has got thorough knowledge on pharmacology. Then only we are safe. Because even, I'm telling you, there is an homeopath medicine, very, very common. Most of the house, we have got Nux vomica. Too much of using of Nux vomica, it falls into drugs. So now you can, to clear myself, to educate myself, I raise this question to both the Shantida and Dr. Tripathi, along with you also. So now you ask me, shoot the question to me.
Can I supplement?
Yes, Dr. Tripathi.
Yeah. It was great. I was actually expecting. Very important issue you have raised. The question is, as sports person, no player is immune from health problems. And at any point of time, they can fall sick. One is chronic disease, about which we'll also discuss. Dr. Shambhu has also mentioned about therapeutic use exemption. The other is acute problem. Okay. Now, you have rightly pointed out that somebody who he is having fever or he is having cough, and then a doctor who doesn't have any insight about sports medicine or the prohibited list of medicines by WADA, etc., will, in his own, with all his noble intention, he will write a prescription. And if by any chance, whatever medicine he is prescribing, okay, if it falls under the list of WADA, prohibited list, that will also cause the person who is consuming it liable, and he can be tested positive, and the whole thing will be, otherwise the onus lies with the sports person and the coach, etc., etc. So that is the reason why. And apart from that, as you know, in today's time, we are very much dependent on so many super specialty care also. It is almost impossible to expect that all the doctors under the sun, they will have the equal level of insight in the pharmacology of all the medicines, and the vulnerability of these medicines, which medicine is in the water list of this thing or not a list or whatever, any with the doping this thing. So there must be somebody, some doctor. Okay, if it is the team doctor, it's great. He has to keep himself abreast, because the team actually is depending upon his knowledge and his wisdom in this area. So you are very right that it is not enough to have any doctor and every doctor.
Yes.
A doctor who is skillful in this area.
Yes,
So
yes.
that is important. That is important. You are very right. We'll come back to this discussion further. Okay.
No,
Thank
because
you
this
very
is
much.
this is my practical experience.
Absolutely, absolutely, this can happen.
In 2002 and 3, when I got Calvito Di Puna from Goa,
Right.
that point of time, I had one player called Arun Malhotra. I picked him up from a very junior team, and he was doing so well. He got into India team. And India team, when they were training in Sai, Patiala, he was found positive because he had this fentanyl cough syrup
Pencil,
prescribed by a
Right.
doctor. So,
Yeah.
and his total international career was doomed.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying
Right.
sometimes, and this is my practical own
Experience.
experience, that clubs sometimes to save money, or sometimes unavailability of, like Shanti Ranjan Das. In his Bengal club, when he is available, he travels with the team. No problem, because he has got enough knowledge about the medical situation. But a Paraka doctor, some doctor has been sent with the team, because there's a rule of AIFF that a doctor should accompany. And this might, in Bangalore it happened. So the clubs also should stop, and they should recruit doctors who has got pharmacological background, who has got knowledge regarding sports medicine. We should know which medicine should be prescribed, because otherwise, anytime, any day, the players himself, the team, in the greater sense, everyone will be penalized. So now, Dr. Samadar, what you want to ask me?
I'm telling
please. Yeah.
Shwaza, one thing is that your concern, I know you used to discuss all these things since 18 years back when I was in East Bengal with you. We're working, we are analyzing the deficiency of the club. There is no doctor or sports medicine specialist or everything. Now it is not yet solved. And as you mentioned, due to our movement, All India Football Federation and AIFF are bound to send a doctor, any doctor with MBBS degree holder, they can accompany with the team. But as I am telling you, in India, there was only one area is Patiala. There they used to train 5 sports medicine doctors. Most of them used to come from the services. And now from 2018, India government has permitted 4 zones, east, west, north, south. There will be 4 MD sports medicine. There will be 3 diploma holder in sports medicine. Unfortunately, we were not succeeded to achieve this permission from government of India. Unfortunately or unfortunately, I don't know, I fought for it, but I was not successful. Ultimately, it went to Manipur. And I asked the government, do you think Calcutta will not give the sports medicine doctors and Manipur will give? No problem. But that's why one thing is very common, what Subhasda was telling, that should be our, we should at least very serious about this, these doctors who should at least know the doping list, which used to come out every year in January.
So, Shantida, there is
Yeah.
a book published by
I know.
NADA. So why
Yeah.
don't
No,
you
they
give it
no.
to the
Oh,
doctor?
I am a very simple solution.
Small book.
I'm telling you, Subhasda, it is a very simple solution. Indian Medical Association, they have got one journal which is called JIMA and all these things. Something knows. So there should be in everywhere in the month of January or February, they should publish a list of drugs which is prohibited, which should not be used, which is the masking drugs, which you should put it locally, you should not do systematically. That should be the duty of the doctor's organization.
Dr. Dasgupta, I've got
Yeah.
a question to you. You
Yeah.
are a big assistant AGS of East Bengal Club.
Yeah.
You are a big doctor. That's an entirely different issue.
Yeah.
Being AGS, when you recruit players, why don't you recruit a doctor who has got a background on pharmacology, who knows the sports medicine, or why you don't spare your time to educate himself?
Yeah.
Educate
One
that
thing,
guy. I myself,
I-
Dr. Shantiranjan Dasgupta, don't shock away. I myself discuss with you how I can raise the testosterone level of my player. Simple.
Yeah.
I once I gave you that book also, showed you that book. Carl Lewis used to do milk and cheese before bed, going to bed, having, if you have. So, guy like you, if you do not come forward, we are layman. We are layman. How could you know?
You know the financial condition of club like East Bengal, Mohun Bagan,
Don't tell
Mehman, all these
me.
things.
You are
Yeah.
ready to spend crores of rupees for a player to save
But
the player's life as
That
because
is-
you are there.
So
One of
now
my
we
players-
have to
that is our
Move
mentality.
on.
No, that is your mistake. That's a mistake.
Not
should
a
have
mistake.
admitted-
Every
we
time
have to move
we are,
on.
we are financed by the corporate. This is their will to appoint someone to pay something that is not possible for the club. We'll have to acquire the most
Don't tell
best
me.
players.
I'm
Yeah.
not buying it. I'm not buying it.
Okay, let's move to
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move to next question to you actually. So one player that may suffer from injury and want to come back quickly and trying to adapt some medicines that is not evidence based that may come under doping. So what will be your message to them?
No message. Nothing comes shortcut. You have got an injury. We have to go to the doctor. As we are saying, the proper doctor. If you have got injury on your knees, we have to take to Shantida or any orthopedics. Let them have an MRI done. Let them detect or whether it's a TR ACL or TR PCL or meniscus or what is the thing. Now you have to go through the proper procedures. You have to give rest. You have to then you have to slowly when they might do an arthroscopy. If arthroscopy has been done, then you have to give him 6 weeks time. Then send him to gym or swimming pool. So there are no shortcuts that makes up a whey
So that
protein.
is most
and
important.
give it. So you have to take the proper action. Then comes like I don't know whether Mr. Baichung Bhutia has joined us or not.
Yes, he is there.
He has
I
joined.
am moving to, yeah, he had joined.
2003, when he joined East Bengal, on insistence of me, he joined from Mohun Bagan. He has got a knee problem. He is a sensible guy, sensible sports person. He went, did his arthroscopy done, did his exercises, and properly. And before the tournament started, he made himself fit. There is no shortcut rule. There is no theory. The theory are same for all over the world.
So take home message is no shortcut.
No
So I am
shortcut.
now moving to Mr. Baichung Bhutia. I am now moving to Mr. Baichung Bhutia. So please tell us about your experience in England, in Indian national football team regarding the anti-doping measures that practiced. So what is your experience with that? Can you please little bit elaborate us?
See, I think there is good supplement, there is bad supplement, and there is legal supplement, there's illegal supplement. I think there's a lot of disturbance in the sound. Can people mute it? I think there's a lot of sound coming in. Hello?
Yeah.
Ah. So what I was saying was, there is good, today we are talking about doping and the topic is on doping, and most of the players, I think, get into doping is through supplement as well. And there are good supplement, there are bad supplement, there are legal supplement, there are illegal supplement. So it's important for clubs with proper fitness trainer, physios, and doctors to advise. See, for players, it's about only playing. They need to play, perform. It's important that you have people to guide them in the right manner. Even today as well, if you tell me about diet, I don't have a knowledge on what are the right diets. My duty is to go on the field, train hard, and practice and play and perform. And for me to perform, I need that kind of support in terms of supplement. I need everywhere. Look at an example. I'll give an example of Cristiano Ronaldo. When he came from Portugal, signed to Manchester United, there he did get support a lot on terms of supplement with obviously fitness and gym work. Same when I was there as well. When I went to a club in England, I was given a lot of support in terms of my fitness with supplements, and those were legal supplements. We obviously had a lot of dope tests going on there as well. But all the clubs around the world does give you the right, because they have the knowledge. A lot of countries do research on right supplements, right diets, so that the players are benefited through supplement is more like a diet thing. But I think in India, obviously, we can understand, because a lot of the clubs, a lot of the associations, federations have financial problems, so they can't even the Indian Olympic Association and the sports ministries don't have so much of research on the supplements and diets. So once you're not there, I think then a lot of times the players and the athletes are given wrong advice, wrong kind of supplements, and that's how they take it, listening to the fitness trainer, physios, and doctors, and end up getting tested positive. And this happened to a lot of athletes in India in the past. So it's important that today's world, I think, for players to really enhance their performance, you need that support. We need to work on the gym, we need good recovery, we need good diet, and those are very important factors. So for players is to perform, but I think the clubs will have to make sure that they have a good fitness trainer with that knowledge of giving the right supplements, right training. Obviously, apart from training, there are, we're talking on drugs and anti-doping. So I think that's where the doctors, the fitness trainers, and the physios will have to come and help the players. It's not duty of the players and the coaches to know, because we would not know much. So I think in India, I think we need more education and awareness, and we need to create more fitness trainers and physios on these supplements.
Here lies my Baishong. Before we left for Asian Cup, when I got Kevin Jackson as physio of his Bengal team, he used to give you guys creatinine and amino acid. When he started, I stopped him. I said, no, let me first check it. And I checked it with Dr. Shantiranjan Dasgupta, whether creatinine, amino acids, they are safe for you guys. And when I was sure that yes, he can give it to you, then you started taking those things. And today's modern football and today's young guys who are playing, they know which is good, which is bad. But as I said before, the club or the federation for which the players are playing, they have to give them the full support. That support could be given by the knowledgeable people.
Can I come in this? Can I give a comment on this?
Yeah.
Yes. My opinion is regarding the supplement, it's a difficult area, risky area, because supplement industry is not as regulated as drug industry. Okay. So, and then because it is not very heavily regulated, it is not very binding on them. What is written on the label, actually the product may contain something else also, or in addition to that, something else also. And if you are tested, you will be tested with those which are not there in the label. So you can know what is there in the label, but there might be some more things, okay? Because a supplement is not licensed as rigorously under rigorous supervision as in case of a drug. Now, again, when you talk of a drug, again, drug has different connotation. But whatever WADA is doing, or all over the world, the anti-doping agencies they are doing, they are actually concentrating on modern medicine drug. Okay, but at the same time, there are also complementary alternative medicines. Like in India, if you think of, Dr. Sambo has also mentioned about herbal products, Ayurvedic products. You never know in a particular Chabanpras what are the things are there. Okay, there are also plant steroids, plant corticosteroids. So they will be detected. When you do the testing, everything will be detected there. Because many a times, a vast majority percentage proportion of this test failure is because of ignorant intake or inadvertent intake. It's not willful intake for the purpose of uh, enhancing my performance. Many a times it so happens because of ignorance, because of gap in the knowledge, okay, the players are caught on the wrong foot. So this is where there is a need, as Mr. Bhomik has very rightly pointed out, there is a huge need to bridge this gap, to
Dr.
have the right
Tripathi,
person. Yes, please.
Dr. Tripathi, this one just shared the 5,000 years back, China used to use a plant called mahua.
Right.
It's a ephedra,
Yeah,
which from
absolutely.
ephedra. So
Absolutely.
that is a banned substance these days.
Right.
So to use any herbal drugs, as I
Very
told
dangerous.
you, homeopathy, there is Nux bomb. It has been proved that too much use of, we must teach our players, even caffeine. If you take too much of coffee,
Yeah.
I used to,
It can be
will,
stimulant.
first of all, it's a diuretic. Then, secondly, if you take
Stimulant.
12, 15 cups of coffee, it will affect on your doping. So
Absolutely.
nada or whatever you call. So the first thing is education. First thing is educate your players, educate your coaches. So this is the main thing.
So one important aspect, as mentioned by Mr. Bhutia, that we have to actually choose the correct supplement. So apart from that, any other measures that you had faced there, in specifically when you were in England also, regarding the performance enhancement, because there are some legal way also to enhance your performance. So is there any other area that you had noticed?
So I just heard Dr. Tripathi speak. I think that is a very common what is stored inside that supplement, and that is true, and that nobody wants to do the research thing. Why in Europe and a lot of including Asian countries, in China, if there are supplements coming for sports or anything which really helps performance of the players, the federation or the sports ministry does research on that supplements and gives it. Here everybody wants to give advice, no, don't take a risk, we don't want to take a risk. It is important that any supplement that's coming out, or any product that is coming out that helps you to really perform or gives you anything in enhance your fitness, I think it's important that the federation or the sports minister, Indian Olympic Association, should also do a research on that product and say, we've done it, this is okay, clean to take it, please players, we have advice. So that it's like football. You have a football manufactured from any companies in India. They have approved by All India Football Federation, approved by FIFA. Same thing with supplements. I think I've seen a lot of supplements approved by Sports Authority of India. So once is approved and that are genuine, I think that's where they'll have to. It's not, everybody will say, no, we don't know what is there, and we don't want to take a risk and do that. It's not going to help. it's important that the sports ministry, SAI, Indian Olympic Association, federations will have to do research, because everywhere in the world they are doing it. Even clubs in Europe, are taking. I've been there. I played when I was in England. When I came back, every player, and I felt myself the amount of strength I used to gain. I had gained the speed. I had helped. I'm not saying so much, but my fitness level also went up so much. Obviously, the training were also different, but it does help. So here in India is only everybody's like, no, we don't know what is there, no risk, but nobody wants to do research and find out what are legal, what are really right. So, and that is not going to help the sports person. And a lot of sports person in India come from a very humble background. Their food habits, their diet habits for a sports person is not right, and you can only enhance by supplements, because what they take from the time they've been born, I think there'll have a lot of nutrition deficiency with a lot of our athletes, because a lot of our athletes come from very humble background. But when they start, coming to state level, national level, you don't see any sports ministry, SAI, Indian Olympic Association or Federation trying to help them in enhance. Only when they win the medal, everybody is there to give them award. But we need to produce more athletes, more sports person to reach that level. And that is not only through practice on the ground and gym. There are diets which are very, very important. When there's injury, what kind of treatment injury is required. When I had my calf muscle towards the end of my career, when we were in Qatar for quite some time, they just gave me an injection that were put into calf muscle, which was obviously they are tested in, I think, what is that in Qatar? They have that famous sports clinic. So those guys had done research and made it legal that this is completely right. But in India, nobody would take the risk to give you an injection like that, saying that whether that's legal or that's doping me aega. So everybody takes that safe side of no, we don't know, don't take it, just work hard. So I think that has to be, I think India has to work more on the supplements as well, on the research on the kind of products which help sports person legally. I'm not saying illegally, and give them the right diet program for the athletes to be supported and helped. And that's very important in sports and for the athletes in today's world.
Baichung, I'm telling you one thing.
Thank you.
Regarding the supplements and all these things, even the WADA's clear-cut instruction is that we don't support any supplement. It is the doctor or the player who will be blamed for, if anything. Rono probably remembers Shoaib Akhtar was caught for the doping and all these things. He was just using the creatinine, a labeled creatinine of this thing, and he was supported by his evidence. I used to take this thing. This is the labeling and all. In what way I can know that this is performance enhancing or it will give me the strength and all these things? So he was free from this, punishment or all these things. So it is very difficult for even WADA. Forget about SAI or our federation or anything. It's WADA can
Hello,
say.
we can't hear Dr. Sandita speaking. I can't hear him.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yes, Shanti, I can hear you.
Yeah. So that is, it's very difficult for this thing. We have, so, in Europe or America, everywhere, this food supplement is very precautious. You will have to use it of your own risk. So if you ask for any sports medicine doctor or anyone, he will just say, yeah, okay, you can use it. I will not prescribe, because if there is any problem, he will be caught, because you don't know what is written in Horlicks, this one. You don't know what is given. This is the problem with us. Any company, it's very difficult for us. It is the the player and all who are associated with this to see or look after. For research and this thing in our country, you just see we are suffering from bloody COVID. There is no research system. You can even test it. Now where there is no hospital bed, everything, there is no research scope in India. Even the healthcare is at the rate of 0. So you can't think all these things for the sports. Nobody is coming out for the research.
Just one small comment. Mr. Baichung Bhutia's point is well taken. You are very right that there is a real need for research in India for understanding that which supplement can safely be used. But what we are trying to actually flag here is, even in the latest list of WADA, that is January, that list has been published, that S0, there are groupings, S0, S1, S2, S3. S0 is non-approved substances. All these supplements actually fall under these non-approved substances. Now the question is that when it is taken, you can take, you might be taken, you are not in the right in the midst of a competition. Okay, the competition is say after 3 months, and you are taking it now. So at the time when you are, although there are also lists that off the field and on the field lists are also there. In the competition and off the competition, testing can also be done by WADA. There are also codes like that. But then it is unlikely that if I take this today and after 2 months I have the competition, that by that time whatever I have taken, that will be washed off and it will not be caught in the taste. But otherwise, the risk of taking any supplement is because they are unregulated, because they are unapproved, batch to batch. Okay, the standardization is also poor. In modern medicine, if you say that, say aspirin, every batch where it is marketed, okay, for by every company, because they are getting the license, manufacturing license, it is the job of the drug regulator to ensure that every batch contains the will be also ensuring the quality of the product. In case of food supplements or in case of the other kind of supplements, okay, health supplements, it is not like this. So standardization is poor. And secondly, there could be, say for instance, India can take a stand, but as on today, there is a global consensus. There has to be a harmony insofar as the core codes of doping is to be the same. Minimum criteria will be the same everywhere in all countries. So we cannot have our own system, because tomorrow if our people goes to international sport and there they will be again will be caught for violation of the dope act, dope law, okay, dope rules. So these are the reasons. We are not against taking supplements. You are very right. There is a need. There research is required. All are very well taken. But we are just mentioning about the possibility of risk. But otherwise, you are very right. There is a need for research. And why I was just going through, because I was going to attend tonight's meeting, that very recently in NADA, there has been a lot of funds have been given for research, for stimulating research in the area of doping in the National Dope Testing Laboratory in Delhi. And government is actually promoting research in these areas. So, and also there are in the Ayurveda system also they are trying to push research. And as you know, there has been a lot of encouragement in Ayurveda also. So maybe we have a better future, better tomorrow. Let's see. Over.
Okay. Now I'm moving to Mr. Ranadev Bose. So you have actually a huge experience with Indian national cricket team and Bengal Ranji team. So how they actually approach towards the anti-doping measurements? Your take on that?
I think it's very, very well organized by BCCI. Before every season, the anti-doping people, they come to every association. We have a seminar. They give you the new booklet which comes, which comes every January. So they update the players, the coaches, the physio, the trainers, that what are the new substances that got into that book. So the awareness is there. They also aware people how to sample, because you were saying that it's a very, very strict process, that how to label it, how to seal it, and how you have to do it. So that is very important, that how to give a sample. So they train you with that. They explain everything, but there are few loopholes. See, I have experience as a coach, as a cricketer. I knew exactly what I need to do. I used to carry that booklet to my house physician if I had any cough or a cold, and I would show it to him, and he would go through it and give it to me. But sometimes in cricket, what happens is that there is a probables which you pick before the season, and that probable actually attends that seminar. But in between a season, somebody in the club has performed really well, who was not in the probables, but because of his fantastic performance and in form, you pick him up. And in between the season,
he goes through a test and he might get positive. I have an experience with one of the cricketers a couple of years back, and it was a very simple thing. He had a mucus problem with cough and cold, dry mucus. So the doctor gave him a particular medicine, and he wanted to buy that particular medicine. But the problem was over the counter, the guy said that the substance are exactly same. I don't have this medicine. You take this one. So he believed that the particular guy who was selling the medicine, thinking that it's a similar. So, it happens to all of us that we are not getting this medicine, this particular company, the same substance of there in some other medicine like Calpol and Crocin. And he bought that medicine, he had that medicine, and that particular medicine had terbutaline. And then he was found positive. So it's a very, very, difficult scenario, because that's going to happen all the time. And it is very difficult to educate each and everyone who's playing club cricket, because there are 88 second division clubs and about 50, 60 first division clubs. So too many people are playing cricket. You might pick one of them in between season. So there are issues like that. There are issues that Dr. Tripathi was saying, that it is very difficult to organize, supplement. There was a particular company who said that we are giving you this supplement, and obviously the next year the things change in that booklet. Though that supplement company said that we have changed, but the retailer has sold a previous batch, because he had that in his shop, and he has sold the cricketer a batch which was last year's. So the cricketer unknowingly used that particular substance and got caught. So there are a lot of gray areas, there are a lot of loopholes that need to be addressed. And I think that this is not an issue that can be solved overnight. So yeah, the NADA is looking after it. We are trying to educate the players, which is very, very important. We are trying to educate the trainer, the physios, the doctor who's traveling with us. But there are some practical issues which I have seen, and I don't know how quickly, how easily these problems can be solved.
Yeah, nicely pointed out that.
Just one comment I would make, that as a take-home message, we can say, if I am in sports, I'll always depend on prescription medicine and by under prescription. So I won't go for self-medication, number one. Secondly, any medicine as you are mentioning about medicines listed in the water list or NADA list or whatever, all they are in the generic names. Okay, when you talk of paracetamol, it is a generic name. Yes. But when you say brand name, for paracetamol, there might be say 200 brand names in Indian market. And as a common man, it is impossible for me to know what is what. So it is all the more important. That's the reason why you have to depend on a doctor, take a prescription, and more importantly, preserve the prescription. That at a point in a crisis moment, you can show, this is the prescription I am actually complying with. My doctor has prescribed this. It is not that I have trying to take something or with some ulterior motive. So that may help you. So don't indulge in self-medication. Go for prescription medicine. Preserve the prescription. Keep the prescription with you. So these are some of the, I think.
Dr. Tripathi, just another thing I need to add. I am personally asthmatic. So every time I had to go a lung function test to prove that I can take Astelin. But I had an issue in a different country that Astelin was all right to take in India. But when I went to South Africa, the Astelin was actually 2 days before the game, which I was not aware of. The physio came running and said, you have to go for a lung function test, and we have to give you a different medicine. And that again changed in Australia, that again changed in England. So it is not easy. Every time I had to travel overseas, I had to go for a lung function test to that particular country and get that prescribed medicine. So there are areas which, like Baichung was saying, coming from a very humble background, things are not possible all the time. Sometimes when you are under an umbrella like CAB or BCCI, things are sorted. But when you are not under an umbrella, you're playing a club cricket. I can understand playing for East Bengal, things are sorted. But playing for other small clubs, sometimes it gets very difficult.
Actually, there is one area we know, that therapeutic use exemption, because as you mentioned like that, you are or some player is asthmatic, you just appeal via your treating physician to the authority that you are asthmatic and you need this medicine for your treatment. then it will take care everything. So you will
No,
not
but
face
they said
problems
that.
anymore.
But there in South Africa, they said that Astalin was not regular to them. They had to give some other medicine, the other name, which had little capsules in it, and it would break when I would take the puff. It was a different one, which I've never used before.
Yeah, that is actually a problem of access of medicine in different
Yes.
countries. That is one issue.
I was also tempted to ask Mr. Ranobir that
Ranodev.
Ranodev, despite all this, what you have rightly mentioned that BCCI is very active and etc. Let me name how is it Prithvi Shaw in that is thing. How is it that he had this problem?
Actually, what happened was Prithvi Shaw. Actually, the guy I was mentioning was Prithvi Shaw. He was the one who had the prescription, but he asked a waiter
Okay.
or a guy in the hotel to get him a particular medicine, and over the counter the guy gave him another medicine. So, but I would still say that the player should be more conscious and cautious taking any medicine. He should have gone back to the physio or the trainer and showed him that do I take it or not. And sometimes, there's like somebody coming from a humble background, especially obviously in Calcutta, a lot of people comes from suburbs. The family depends on the homeopathy or Ayurvedic medicine, which they are not aware of. But now, generally, what we do is because if you have a pre-season camp, we make sure that the medicine is taken 6 to 8 weeks before the tournament starts. So if somebody has taken it, we make sure that 6 to 8 weeks is given to him so that the things are flushed out from his body. But still, we know all these things, but practically sometimes it is not always possible.
Right.
And that is where it is. Like again, like as you have mentioned, like in WADA or NADA, in Indian cricketer, they have to declare where they are and exactly their location. So that 365 days, 24 hours, anybody can go approach them and take sample, but it is not applicable to the domestic cricketers yet. In domestic cricket, this testing is not done regularly. Or sometimes it is done if you see a cricketer is performing very well, like an Olympic gold medalist, he has to go for a test, or a silver medalist or the podium guy has to go for a test. So if the particular guy is performing every game or having a good season, we've seen that the particular guy has been tested. But generally, it is not as regular as it is like an Indian team or an international cricketer. So there are some areas which BCCI is trying to improve, but I would still say it's very organized. They are updated. They give the new booklet every year to every cricketer who has attended the seminar. And the cricketers are also smart enough. They can go through the internet and find out what is good and what is not good.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ranodev. So I am now going to Alvito. Alvito Dikunha, are you there? So can you listen?
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Hello, Alvito.
Yeah.
Can
Yeah,
you hear
you're
me?
audible now.
Yeah.
We can all hear
I
you,
can.
Alvi boy.
Okay.
So actually, you had almost 2 decades in East Bengal. So let us know your views in terms of anti-doping awareness in your club.
See, we have been organized a lot of anti-doping awareness in the club, and especially from people like you, Shantida. Of course, you have started your career late as a doctor, but then Shantida was the guy who initially used to, make us aware of this anti-doping things. Yes, of course, as I remember, as you said, I had a long years in East Bengal, almost 2 decades. But I was very lucky to have a coach like Subhash Bhomik. He was not only as a coach, but he was also a doctor, as he has so much of knowledge about the doping. And we used to always go to him asking about the certain medicines, or even if we say that, coach, I'm not keeping well today. So he used to describe us medicine. We need not even have to go to Shantida during those days, as you was in your study days, and Shantida was there with the club. But sometimes it was not possible for us to go to him because, Subhash Bhomik was a person who always used to guide us from the field, and it was very important. And he had a huge knowledge. And I think that's very important for a coach who has a lot of knowledge about this. So, of course, doctors has to be, giving the advice to the players what medicines to be taken, because that's very important. As Ranodev and Baichung has also mentioned, there are a lot of players who have actually suffered due to this anti-doping. They think one, but ends up in a different way. because it's not sometimes I say the player's fault, but as coach rightly said, we sometimes Corex used to feel like we used to think like, this Corex is a good syrup and maybe in a day or two we'll feel better. But that used to lead to something else. But this was like very important. And initially, when I started off my career, we had no knowledge about this. And I think it was once when I happened to go through the same situation, and when I approached Coach Subhash Bhomik on this, and he immediately stopped me with that. So these were the things very important. We had no knowledge at all, but then lucky enough to have a coach like him, and of course, but I prefer in modern football, the doctors should all the time be on the field. Although the coaches have a huge experience, huge knowledge about anti-doping, but I think having a doctor on the field is very important, because sometimes the players, what happens is they go to the physios, and the physios, they don't have the proper knowledge. Very sorry to say about it, but then there are some physios, I don't want to name some of them, but then there are physios who have no knowledge about the medicines. So having a proper doctor, it's very, very, very important. And I think big clubs should always try and maintain that, for the betterment of the players and also for a good result for the club.
Right.
Okay, so physios are again very important parts. They are actually specialized.
Excuse me, Dr. Shambho. Physios has got nothing to do with neither supplement, non-prescribing medicine. They are not supposed to. As I told you, Kevin Jackson came from South Africa with the help of Adrian Lair, who I got him to East Bengal club. The very first day, he was telling me, Coach, I need some amino acids and creatinine. I said, hold on, let me discuss. Then I discussed with Dr. Dashgupta. Then I started studying, because those days, not too much Google, Chrome, so I can get it. And then when I get the green signal, then I allowed him. Then I allow him to buy it, give it. But the thing is this, doctors who has got that pharmacological background, who knows, that, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Tripathi, that one medicine, there are sold over the counter in many names. Those a generic name, like, as you say, paracetamol. The paracetamol, Decold is also paracetamol, but that's not pharmacy. So we have to know a person who has got knowledge, who can help the team, who can safeguard the players, as well as the interest of the team. That's very, very important. Shantida was talking about money. The clubs, especially, yes, Rono wants to say something. Yes, Rono. Rono, tell.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah. Sorry, Shubhasda. There's one thing which I would want to mention, that nowadays the fitness has gone into different level. Obviously, you would agree with me. Footballers are terrific with their fitness. Obviously, seeing Baichung and Alberto.
No, just a minute. Fitness has got nothing to do with.
No. I'm coming to a different point.
Nothing to do with doping or.
No. Because I'm coming to a different point. The thing is that because the fitness has taken over a huge leap, the players tend to spend a lot of time with the trainers, which they do in the gym, which was not the case in your time when you played. But nowadays it is essential. So this trainer had a huge bond nowadays with the particular player.
Ronald Bosch, don't try to teach me regarding the trainers. I got trainers through Adrian Leru for his Bengal club, his disciple. In fact, Adrian himself was supposed to join his Bengal team.
No, I am raising a different point, Shubhasda.
Let them spend a lot of time in the gym. Lot of time. Let them spend lots of time.
No,
with
no,
the
I am trying to
physio.
give you an information, Shubhas. Let me say, the thing is that what happens is that these trainers are sometimes, I'm telling you, it's a very practical thing, not with the BCCI or the CAB, but there are a lot of trainers in a lot of gyms who actually force you to buy or use a particular
Good.
protein
That's my
product
question.
which they
Don't
feel
listen.
is good.
Don't listen
And
to
these
them.
guys these guys do get influenced because coming from a humble background, coming from a suburban area, they do get influenced because I have often seen that a particular trainer is forcing a player to take a particular brand of product. Maybe he has got something to do with that company. And
Yeah.
these boys spending so much of time
That's-
do get influenced.
That's
I
what
have
I
seen
want
this
to-
happening in my
That's
life.
why.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Don't instigate me. I will take some names. I will take some
No,
names.
no, no. I don't want you to take any names,
No, no,
but I'm saying
that's
that.
why-
Well,
that's
good
why
to
I'm
hear that
saying-
you agree to it. You're agreeing.
I
Subhasa.
agree. Spend your time in gym, spend your time in swimming pool, spend your time on running track, but don't listen to them on, as I told you, when
No,
Kelly
But I've,
Jackson,
but I've
Well,
seen
then-
this. I've seen this happening in my own life as a cricketer, and as a
I know-
coach. That
I
this
have got-
happens.
I have got such a huge experience of coaching for these clubs.
Absolutely.
I had South African trainers under me. I had the British trainer under me. I had some trainers.
But Shubhada, this is a problem. But this is a
Right.
problem. They
So
actually
don't
endorse you to buy and use certain products
Don't-
which
that's
they even
what-
don't know
That's
for their
what I
personal
wanted
benefit.
to say. Don't listen to them. Just
No,
go
yeah,
to your
absolutely.
doctor. Just go to your doctor. He is the right person to guide you. So we have to abide by certain rules. When you come, suppose a football team, X team, I'm the coach, I'm the manager of the team. The player will come to me to some guidance about technical things. I will guide him. Regarding the medical part, I will send him to the medical person, not to the physio, who knows about the muscle, who knows about the how much weight to carry, take, but he doesn't have any iota of idea regarding medicines. So I have to go to Shantida. I have to go to Dr. Tripathi. There was a guy called Dr. Pratim Roy. He was a very good boy. So we have to go to those guys. We don't do this. These players, they don't do this. And the physios, you are absolutely right.
Pratim Roy is the medical officer of Mohun Bagan team. Pratim Roy.
No, he was with me in his mobile team. He started.
Yeah, he was.
his
He
career
was with Mohan
me
Bagan for the
in
last
his
till the
Right.
last time. For the last.
He started his
one year,
career
I've not-
with Shantida. Got him for me. Shantida used to get as per my requirement.
But
Shantida-
coach, I think last few years he was with Mohan Bagan.
Yeah.
Last few years.
Yeah,
Shantida used to get.
Now he is with Durbar Samitiam
Durbar,
like this.
yeah.
as a
Yeah.
No,
football
Shantida used to get me those boys. When
Yeah,
I used
yeah.
to- Before pre-season, he used to get me those guys from BT Road. I don't know.
Yeah.
To get their
So, my-
BMI and skin fold, everything. So
Yeah.
we cannot deny whether it is cricket, whether it is hockey, whether it is football. You look into international. Let BCCI has got a lot of money. Why the Williams sisters were came under the scanner? Why Maria?
If Maria Sharapova can come under the scanner, what do you think the under-19 boy would do?
So
Yeah,
Think
they
on
are-
those lines, Shubhasda. If Maria Sharapova can come under such radar,
I am talking
think of an
about-
under-19 boy from Kolani.
I am
Yes,
talking
yes.
about Williams' sister too. I am
Yeah,
talking about
absolutely.
Maradona. So that's not the thing. Thing is this: there was blood doping. Shantida Dr. Tripathi will know. The East European countries, the East Germany before they were merged, they used to do blood doping, taking the blood plasma, putting into this to get your oxygen intake.
Absolutely.
So
Yes.
these are not normal
Dialysis
things.
is also another way.
Dialysis.
Some players also do dialysis. That is one type of medical thing actually.
So there are many ways. Only way to say no is a big NO.
Right.
Without asking, my guardian. Who is your guardian? Go to your coach. He will guide you to your doctor. And he will guide you to take this medicine, take this supplement. This food is, you must take. Talking about food, when I started these Bengal players to cut rid of their simple carbohydrate intake and forcing them to go for complex carbohydrate, there were big players. Well, no, the coach is not allowing me to have rice. He's asking us to have pasta. They don't understand. That's the job of mine. That's the job of Rono. That's the job of Shantida to make them understand. This is our duty. So players, we cannot blame the players. Whether you play cricket, hockey, tennis, the first guy who won in 60 Olympics, the cyclist, the Danish cyclist.
Yeah.
So that's in
Okay,
this way.
I'm going to.
I am taking a small incident. I have seen with my own eyes. Coaches in my eras used to give Dextradin tablet. So you can't help it.
Subhashda, don't forget it's 9:30 you have to sleep.
I have to go sleep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We have to
Thank you very much.
We have to conclude.
I'm taking
So
leave.
first, I want to ask another question to Alfito. Actually, you know that the addiction is again a great challenge. What is your observations in your last few decades in East Bengal and other football clubs? The addiction and doping. What is your comment on that?
Yes, addiction is really a great challenge, But if you go to see, I think there should be enough awareness created on this to the players in this area, and especially at a very young age. If you give them the proper knowledge about this, if you give them the awareness at a young age, I think you can have a great impact, because in their sports career, let's not forget, if they fall into this trap, I think the players will be discouraged, thinking that the doping will elevate their performance, because football is not just or any sports is not for a small term, it's for a long term, and in the long term, they will lose their career, dignity, and also respect. So for which I think they have to maintain this. It's very, very important for them.
Okay. So thank you for this comment. I am now asking Dr. Shantiranjan Dasgupta, because we now are in a COVID era actually, and that's all type of practice is now abandoned. So what is your concern regarding the post-COVID era challenge? Is there any increased chance of doping to actually again get back their performances like that? What is your take on that? And what is your message to the players?
This is for the locking period. All the players, either outdoor or indoor or team game or single, anywhere, everybody is inside their residence. So now it is very important to have some exercise, and you can go for exercising outside. You'll have to do it in your own residence, all of this thing. So in this regard, I can say this COVID, if we like to challenge COVID from ourselves, we must develop our immune system, that is reticuloendothelial system. So we must have some stretching phenomenon where we can boost up their RE system. There are so many asanas and all these things in yoga where you can stimulate your RE system doing all exercise. So the players should be in exercising mood during this time, because this is the first time after 100 years. So we don't know what will be in future, what we should do, but at least we know we must keep ourselves fit during that time with our inside activity and all these things. Another point is that I can tell you what is the significance of discussing the doping and all these things in this era of lockdown or COVID, post-COVID or running COVID area. So only thing is that while you are alone in the house, so you can think so many things. What you were telling just now, Alvito was telling about the addiction and all these things. So the sports person can be, demoralized being inside the room. So they should be boosting up him himself. That very recently I have seen in the lockdown period, Bhag Milkha Bhag. This is another stimulant area from where a sports person should do something for him. It is not the supplement, it is not the everything. You should try yourself to keep fit and you can go for the competition. And I don't know, that's why sometimes I feel that no scientific, this progress in our country regarding sports. I will ask Ranodev that you will be, astonished to know there is no lab in India at present to test all the doping and all these things. This is very funny for us. We can't. We are telling everything. I can request to the BCCI or all the influential or the financially strong group, they should come up and at least make one lab. There was one lab recognized at Nehru Stadium, and now that is not recognized. So you will have to go for the lab testing. Shantanu and all these things, they will help you in that regard, but that is not acceptable in international area or in WADA. So we are in this thing. Another thing I'm telling you, I'm also attached to CAB and all these things. What I used to see when there is international match and all these things, we used to make a room with the black, this porda and all these things, and we leave the name. This is the doping room and all these things to show all these things. So I'm very, ashamed that what we are going up to till now, we have got no such structure, but we can do it. Only thing is that no mentality for it. We are very depending on your skill, your pratibha, whatever you call. They will do all these things, but we never go for the scientific. As you see, this Australia, they are going very scientific way. They are getting up. So in our country, we must say there is something training this Bangalore and all these things, but that should be everywhere. There are a lot of talent in our part, and I am telling you, we are now number one in the test match or T20 or any one day anywhere. We are proud of this because our school days, our college days, we were, used to love that India will draw this thing and a test match and all this. That is all for us. We never thought about the winning and all this. Now we can. This is the thing, but still we are lagging the scientific approach. We must do it for the scientific everywhere. If cricket association is rich, then you come forward for another association. You help us. You help another thing. You can see the athletes in our country, especially in Bengal. The athletes are number one in all India basis. But we can put them in there. There are very few you can just count. So we should come. I'm really ashamed of, because I am also Indian. I am also from this area. But still there is we can't convince the person to come up with a scientific approach. This is my humble request. Anyone, you are as a coach, you will lead your team and all these things. You should come as a whole of the sports. Then we can do better in the sports area. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to supplement. I think right at this moment, there is only one laboratory in India where the dope tests are being conducted.
Where?
Testing is being done. That is in the National Drug Testing Laboratory. And recently they have also got the recognition of WADA, as much as I know. So I'll request all of you to go to the website of National Drug Testing Laboratory. But that is definitely not enough, Dr. Shantida. We must have regional laboratories. Why can't we have a laboratory in Eastern region, in the Sports Authority of India, in Salt Lake? Why can't we have a regional level testing lab? Why can't we have 4 different regional testing labs? So that should be, I think, if we if we want to add value to tonight's discussion, I would request Dr. Shambho to write a position paper and submit it with the youth ministry. Okay, with the minister is the Mr. Rijiju. Okay, so write a letter to Mr. Rijiju. Why can't we have regional testing laboratories? Why can't we have awareness program from the very school level? Okay, the today's school child of class 8 or class 10, he is going to be the tomorrow he will be going to the Olympic, or he will be representing India in international level. So what kind of, unless we catch them young and we tell them that this is what is called doping and you should take you should be away from them if you really are interested in a sporting career. Okay, so I think we have many miles to go, and let us have the first step from today. Over, Dr. Shambhu.
Yes, sir. Well telling,
Actually,
sir, we have to.
the initiative started in 1990 in India. The first laboratory activity started in 1990 in the SAI laboratory, Sports Authority of India in Delhi. And I know one of my ex-colleagues, I did my MD from Benares Hindu University. And there was a lady who was named Dr. Alka Biotra, who did her PhD from BHU from the same department I belong. And he joined there after doing her PhD. She joined, her first posting was in Sports Authority of India. She was basically a biochemist, and she retired in 2016 October. Okay, and all through these 26 years she spent in the National Drug Testing Laboratory. Later, of course, it was named as National Drug Testing Laboratory. So it was for 26 years she worked there, and she retired as superannuated as the scientific director of National Drug Testing Laboratory. So although the rate or the pace at which we have progressed is otherwise not something which we can really be very proud about, but then in the last 5-7 years or 10 years we have made a lot of progress, and let's hope that things will be still better in the near future. Thank you.
Listening to Shantida and Dr. Tripathi, I realized one thing. This is the only reason I just said I could relate to it now, that why the domestic players, they don't go for enough testing, because I just realized that there is no lab. But just because the BCCI or the international players fall under WADA, they have a lot of labs. During IPL also, we've seen a lot of testing. And I think you keep testing, you will find people, and people will get aware. Just because there is less testing, less people are getting positive or getting punished, so the awareness is also less. If more people are punished, more people are reprimanded, so the awareness will be more. I could understand that, and just because I have played a little more, so that I realize the other side of it. But only a domestic cricketer is very difficult to understand, and also to understand the seriousness of doping. So I think awareness is more important, and this is a fantastic thing which I have also realized today, speaking to all you doctors, to be honest.
Yeah. So thank you very much. So we have to conclude now. So as it is now 9:40, so Mr. Ranadev Bose, thank you, Alvito. Most
Pleasure.
probably Mr. Subhash Bhomik and Mr. Baichung Bhutia had left. So thanks to them also. Thank you, Tripathi sir, and
can
thank you,
I
sir.
can I just have one small word now?
Yes.
So I have another concept to really sell here, and that is again another phrase, and that is what I call doping reconciliation. And that is so whosoever might be your private physician, okay, catch hold of a doctor, maybe a doctor like Dr. Shambhu Samrat, okay, who can be really help you, advise you as a doping reconciliation advisor. That is, whatever medicine you are taking, Dr. Shambhu has to take the responsibility to check the list and to see that yes, if you obey this prescription, and at any point of time, yes, the same person may be trying to complying 2 or 3 different prescriptions. He might be also suffering from asthma, or he is suffering from hypertension, for which he is on some chronic medication, long-term prolonged care medication, and at the same time he has an acute problem for which he is getting treated. Okay, so there must be one key person, medical person, who will be able to really help and advise that yes, so far as these medicines are concerned, you can safely take it, or else if it has to be changed, this is my advice. These are the possible probable alternatives. Go back to your prescriber, and I can also talk to him that you are a sports person. If you are allowed to consume this, you are going to get a problem. So why not the primary prescriber change his prescription? Okay, this kind of arrangement. So this is an area where clinical pharmacologists like Dr. Shambhu Samrat Samazdar can really act and provide a service, doping reconciliation service. And you can think, all of you can think in Kolkata, you can think of having a or encouraging that kind of a service to be developed in Kolkata. We would be very happy to lend our hand of support. Yes, Shantida. Last word from Shantida.
Shantanu, to
Yes.
support your views and all these things, and to support Shambhu also, I will request you, we will fight to make a laboratory, dope testing laboratory in your institution
Great.
in tropical medicine, and where Shambhu is there, and
Right.
you can catch the sports person to come that place where there will be testing laboratory. We can
Absolutely.
approach for that. We can write it to the Kiran Rijiju and telling that there should be one regional institute for this
Absolutely.
thing, doping. And I can help you because Calcutta University got the sanction from the central for about 25 crores for starting the sports science and all these things. They have already started. So they need a laboratory. There is some students who are the sports biochemists. We can, there should be a practical thing in your institution, which is the best
do
place
that.
in Calcutta.
Can do that.
We can do it. We can fight for it. We can write it through government level anywhere. And if we can go to Kiran Rijiju, who is one of minister, and he's also classmate of one of our IAS officer.
Okay.
So we can approach from that also. You please help in that way, but we
Okay.
must have a lab in
We'll do
this
that.
region to develop on all these things. We can write it. So that is your dream, to do a counselor like
Absolutely.
Shambhu will be there, who will help. Then we can start it. At least
Right.
we start it, then somebody will take up and all these things. We can start in that way.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you, Mr. Basu.
Thank
I'm sorry for not
Another-
Pleasure.
mentioning your name rightly.
No, no,
Actually.
pleasure, absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
So thank-
Shantida. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all. So I'm just inviting Mr. Rohan Tripathi to conclude.
Is
Mr.
Rohan-
Rohan, Mr.
Rohan there?
Rohan,
Hello.
hello. Would you please conclude, Mr. Rohan? Yeah. Unmute yourself.
Yeah, it was just an absolute pleasure. All my childhood heroes talking about sports and medicine and everything. I was spellbound literally. But as a lifelong East Bengal supporter and fan, but I guess it was otherwise a very constructive session, and we all learned a lot. And let's hope to have such a session before long again, if all of you agree. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
No, by the way, there is a conflict of interest. Rohan is my son, and and I am a Mohun Bagan supporter.
There's no problem,
Okay.
with the family.
Pleasure.
Support sports. There's support of sports. You can make and Mohun Bagan.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much.
So much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Good night.
So thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you.